Okay guys, I'm back for another cast on the Sorcerer. So, um, naturally I'd go into my Sorcerer, but I'm actually gonna show you my Magic Mule here first. It's a level 1 character that simply has all my sort of gear related to magic really. Both for characters, say I wanted to convert to some kind of caster later, but enough about that for another time. What I was talking about in the last video is how you could sort of increase the ability to read higher level books on a warrior class and a rogue, and that you could do by equipping items that just gonna drop all the ones I have equipped here. You could equip items that will increase your magic. So as an example here, I'm using my level 1 warrior, and as you can see, a standard he has 10 magic. And as I equip these items that I have accumulated that has magic and possibly maximum possible magic fixed to that item. For a pet piece, it's 22 magic like this crown is, and I want to point out as well that I'm trying to get items that level 1 can equip, so that you could actually boost the spells as much as possible from a very low level. I mean, you don't need additional strength. That's what I'm trying to do sort of with the items that I have accumulated with magic on it. So a crown here, it doesn't require any strength. And I found this leather armor as well, and 22 magic on a chest piece is also max, and it does not require strength either. So I got Dream Flinch here with 32 magic. It does require 16 strength, but yeah, hey, it can be achieved pretty fast, and the warrior actually has it as standard. And then finally I got 2 rings of wizardry. 32 magic, and there was another one here with 32 magic. And so far it's best of slot for increasing the magic stat alone. 20 from headpiece, 20 from chest piece, 30 from one-hander, 30 from ring, 30 from ring, and the best I have found so far on a neck is 29. It could be 30 as well, so I'm missing out on 1 here. And one other thing I'm missing is a shield that will give me additional magic. Maximum possible on magic stat on a shield is 15, and like I said, I'm missing 1 here from the neck, so a total of 16 more could it be achieved from this sort of magic set in order to be able to read books. And as you can see, I went from 10 to 169 from equipping these items, so I can read quite a few books now actually. And it could be 16 on top from the missing. The perfect stat here, like I said, would be 30, and 15 would be maximum from a shield. So 16 on top would be 184. That's sort of the magic boost you could get on a mule. And that was about it, really. That's what the magic mule is mainly about. I have a few other items that I could show off. This one I bought from the witch. This is a shield that could be interesting for a caster, mainly due to the fast block. This is best in slot for caster. This is a good start item, not as good as Dream Flinch. It has way more mana and increased spell level, but this is a very good booster item for a new caster. And then I got another wizardry here, 29 magic. I got a dragon's amulet. This would be better, say, for if you wanted for some reason to boost mana on your warrior, for instance, because a warrior would only get from 29 magic he would only get 29 mana, whereas he would get almost double here from equipping a dragon's amulet instead, if you wanted to increase the warrior's mana pool, for instance. Drake's Ring of the Heavens, sure, nice. It's rings that my sorcerer used to wear, but I found better. Same with this one, they are very much alike, stats vary a little bit. And yeah, another one, same kind. If you need some resist and some magic at the same time, mana booster ring, and yeah, Ring of Wizardry, not quite as good as the other 2, but close to. And that's about what I have accumulated on my magic mule. I'm just gonna get out and get my sorcerer. which was the plan really, but I wanted to show you because I talked about my magic mule last. Hell, there we go. So, last run was my 66th in the last video, and I've done 7 runs. This is the 8th run, you could say, the one that I'm about to make now. But I've done 7 runs, and my experience has increased to 733.3 million. The reason why I chose to make a video now, you could say 7 runs is an odd number, but it's because I'm pretty close to level, as you can see here. Next level is 733.8 million, so I need about 500,000 experience in order to get level 47. And I think I will accomplish that at level 13. Hell is, as you've probably seen, if you've seen any of the videos before, the Hell area is level 13, 14, 15, 16, and I'll get approximately 1.5 million per one of these. I mean, level 13 will give me 1.5 million usually, or in that neighborhood, and the same with the other 3 levels. So a total of around 6 million per run is what is the amount of experience I get. So I wrote up as usual, just to show you what a level will actually give you character. I wrote up my hit point stats, my mana stats, my damage with the sword actually. It's of interest because I use it quite a bit on especially level 16, but also often on level 15 as well. So my damage with the sword could be interesting to see if it increases due to my level. And then I got my spells here. Fireball spell and chain lightning spell is interesting, but we can take it when I get the level. Of drops, I had a couple. I sold one of them. It wasn't quite good enough. Before I made the video, I just checked down my other mule. So I had a Dragon's Ring of the Wolf or something like that, but I had better stats on what I had on my mule, so I chose to dump it. But I found this amulet is not perfect in any way. It could be useful on especially, say, a bow rogue. Where you want to boost dexterity for damage, and then maybe an additional mana pool. It's not perfect in any way, this amulet, but it could be interesting for bow rogue eventually. And then this maze, quite nice. Champions is just below Kings. As you can see, where Kings is to hit is, I think it's from 75 to 100%, and the damage is from 151 to 175%. But just under Kings, the prefix is champion, and yeah. I don't remember the exact where the stats go, the to hit and the damage, but I could imagine that damage is up to 150%, whereas Kings take over from like 151 to 175. Nor is the maze perfect for a class, but I was thinking about sort of looking out for a one-handed weapon for a future warrior project. And this happened to be sold up by Word, the peg-legged boy. I normally, if I have a little time, I do a few shopping rounds to see if any of the vendors, including the blacksmith, has anything interesting. And eventually Word had this very nice mace, so it's the best weapon I can offer a warrior eventually if I want to start up a project. And then, yeah, back to business here. As usual, we are talking Fireball F5, Chain Lightning F6, my damage spells, F7 for Stone Curse, defensive, and F8 for teleport, defensive as well, you could say. And most important spell of all is my mana shield, otherwise I won't get far. And then we are off to do our 74th run and becoming level 47. Hopefully. Hope I don't screw it up. So, as usual, so I got some room to maneuver, and the first mobs here are killed by chain lightning, so always a good reason to sort of clear the areas fully, because otherwise chain lightning is kind of hard to control if there's sort of mobs behind you, chain lightning will sort of try to go through the walls, which it cannot, and you're sort of using killing power then. So, all the mobs are these golden drakes. So I just want to see how close. Okay, I need around 300k experience in order to get my level. Ring drop. Not too excited about ring dropping here because the Sorcerer and the Golden Vipers, they're sort of low to mid tier. Meaning they can drop low to mid-tier loot, surprisingly enough. But I'll take a ring, of course, if I can get one. Just out of curiosity, of course, but I don't expect too much stats, even though it's hell difficulty. So as the remaining mobs in this area are over on this side here, then I try to go down here because you can see now all the lightning is sort of coming out in front of me, none of them behind. Meaning my killing power is much stronger this way with the lightning. Normally I wouldn't zap around like this and teleport around if there were, say, lava mobs or mobs like that, but I'm not too sure about these mobs. They're fairly even though they are melee, which are normally most annoying. Also I use my low armor class. There we go. Even though these guys are sort of mid to low tier, the golden drakes here, or golden vipers, or what they're called, they can still be quite annoying. Meaning dropping my spells. And an amulet. From a chest, not too bad. And I'm doing a full clear as usual. I just got a level, guys, so let's go down here and peace and quiet to check it out. So it's about the stats, and congrats to the Sorcerer here for reaching level 47. So I had 149 hit points before, and my mana pool was, so I got 1 hit point. My mana pool was 981 mana, now it's 983, so I get 2 mana points as standard. 1 hit point, 2 mana points. The sword damage, let's see if it has increased. It was before 46 to 68. and as you can see, it has actually increased slightly. One extra to minimum damage and 2 extra to... No, not true. One minimum and 1 top damage. But sure, I'll take it. And then, let's see, yeah, the Fireball spell and the Chain Lightning spell should have increased as well. So before, my Fireball damage was 621 to 850. So as you can see, it increases quite a bit from 621 to 700 and from 850 to 967. And then Chain Lightning, it's only like the top damage that constantly increases by 2. So before it was 4 to 96 and now it's 4 to 98. So congrats to the Sorcerer, level 47 achieved, level 48. Here we go, and we are talking 160 million experience, give or take. That's about, yeah, divide that with 6 million, that's a lot of runs. Let's try to do the math here. So we are talking something like, I think, 25 runs. Yeah, I'm not very good. It's early in the morning here. I'm not too strong in math right now, but I think it's something like 25 runs. Yeah, 25 runs will give me approximately like 150 million or something like that. It's 160, so it's not too bad. In that neighborhood. One other thing though, in case the are considered sort of top tier because of the Vortex Laws, I'm not too sure that they will award me maximum experience. It's close to, but... Okay, we're gonna fall back on now. So, I'm gonna use this guy as an example. So, when you get a new level, the formula for getting experience is your level times 200 experience. So, 47 times 200, that's 9,400 experience for a kill. If it's top level, I mean, if I went to level 1 here, I would get that much experience, but this is considered, I think, a full experience kill. The Gold Viper here, so 47 times 200, that will be, like I said, 9,400. If you add that to my current pool, then when I get to kill this guy, I should be around... The last numbers here, instead of 41,358, it should be 50,700. And as you can see, it worked out. It's not like the formula works like from level 1, but I think around level 30-ish, something like that, the formula starts to sort of take effect. There's probably some other, or there's surely some other formula up to that for getting experience. But yeah, with all the chain lighting here, I'm using a ton of mana. So there was another ring drop. Just gonna pick up some of the gold in order to be sort of increase my chance of finding the ring. Sounded like it came from up here somewhere. Got if I don't find it, which would be the first time that I didn't find one that I heard drop, then it wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, like I said, I don't expect too much of these rings. Stats in general, due to the mobs being of low quality, you could say. Meaning, so will their loot be? Or the stats from it anyway. Alright, I'm just gonna check out, I just used the arrow keys here, if I sort of completed the whole map, and what I'm looking for is sort of any sort of broken walls. That would imply that I haven't sort of fully explored that area. By the way, yeah, so there was this sort of special mob here. I can see that from, you can see like from the rest of his light radius here. Just as my character has a light radius, but I guess I picked up the loot, whatever it was. That special mob dropped back then. That's what I was sort of stalling about. Anyway, next level, here we come. And again, as usual, cool it with the exploration, because it's like worst case scenario here with the lava walls. Sorcerer. It's probably the mobs I dislike the most. As they have this sort of ability to pretty much stun me. And here in the beginning where the lightnings are sort of going in all directions, he's trying to go through the wall behind me as well, because there are mobs there. That makes it sort of the most difficult, is here in the beginning. But as I clear more and more of the map, then I have more like control of where my lightnings are going, as I know that I'm really clear behind. And types like those here are sort of the second worst, even though it's a fairly low tier mob. They all are actually, besides I think the lava maw is probably considered a mid tier mob. But the other two mobs are pretty low-ish. They're still annoying because they have fast hits and they're very accurate in their attacks. The damage may not be sort of huge, but it's enough to sort of keep you in place. So yeah, you get stun locked really. And then more and more mobs will pile up on you and you're in big trouble. A bit of a tricky spot because there could be mobs here and here and here, so I'm trying to sort of keeping it in the middle. Clear above, no problem, then clear below. Trying to keep my distance all the time, but on the other hand I have to explore as well the map. Chain lightning is good for sort of test shooting like this as well, now and then to sort of see where the lightning actually goes, in order to sort of try to calculate where the mobs are, sort of concentrated on the map. I just explored it, grab full cannon. So I'm kind of leaving now because there's too many mobs behind me. There we go, now it's more under control again. And yeah, one mistake where you sort of come too close around a corner and get caught by a lava maw or two, then it's not all fun and games. So afterwards, then I'll probably have to, yeah, use escape and new game, which means that I will lose my beautiful items in town. I have to mention lose phase a bit when I'm recording here. So as you can see here, the lightning, most of them are trying to go south, so there's a huge pile of mobs down there, that's for sure. And a nice cauldron in the middle of everything. Never ever touch a cauldron. It's like a random shrine, and it can give you some really sort of, it can actually sort of devastate your character. I've talked about it before in other videos, but it can sort of drop you from 10% of your total mana permanently. So I would lose like 98 mana from if I get the wrong sort of outcome, which there is a small chance of. I don't think it's what happens the most, but it's an. I would never ever touch something that would actually sort of make my character 10% weaker, and there's no upside really to it at this point to take these shrines. So generally stay away from them, especially the cauldrons. The shrines, they can be taken if you know what they actually do. If you get caught by lava maws, always try to walk south. That means if they're getting close to you, make sure that you have an option to go south. It's just easier to jump them if they actually hit you. Just shooting here. Making distance. These guys are a bit like the lava maws, rather annoying when they get sort of stun lock you. Just collecting a bit of gold because I'd like to make sure that I have enough for both repairs and new mana supplies. There we go. Just shooting. Seems to be a ton of mobs in here. And I think that was actually close to it. I'm gonna check the map again. I need this sort of northern, northwest corner. That's it. Alright, so let's find the exit. It's right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to town. It's too risky to sort of explore too much here when I don't really have any mana on top, so to town we go.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, it's some very mediocre loot.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Repairs. And I got so much gold now, it's actually becoming a menace. It's sort of filling up my inventory, so I'm just gonna buy an item.
What can I do for you?
Dump my cash pile here. Just buying some random crap. There we go. And with around 5,000 gold, I got plenty. 6,051. I got plenty to resupply my mana pool and leaving only one stack of gold in my inventory afterwards.
I sense a soul in search of answers. I sense a soul in search of answers.
There we go. And as I've stated before as well, I have a strong like in half mana pots instead of full. They're very much easier to buy. You just sort of hold the buy button down as they are the top pick by the witch. And secondly, I have a tendency to sort of maxing out my pool. So I'd prefer, you know, if I was using full mana potions, I would have a tendency to use it late, and it has cost me dearly before, where eventually I get I receive some kind of burst damage and you lose my mana shield and then die. So whereas the half mana pots, they seem way more safe because I will usually use them when I'm at half mana. So it's harder for the mobs, you could say, to burst me down. Okay, so let's explore a tiny bit. This room, fine. As well pick up this mana as well. Was there a chest here? Yeah. The chests and barrels I have this theory that they can sort of contain the same same loot quality that you can get from the mobs. Okay. Ranged map. The snow witches here quite soul burners, not so much, as they are all my spells really. Oh, and drakes on top. So it's 3 different kind of mobs. I need to shoot with melee, and then it's going to be a lot of hacked slash. And that's why it wasn't completely irrelevant that my sword damage has increased from getting level. Some guy asked me a couple of episodes back why I didn't use Golem. I can sort of show you why. Where is it there? Because it's pretty annoying, really, and as you can see here, he's not really doing much. Besides that, he's costing a lot of mana. He dies fairly easily, unless he wanders around doing nothing really. As you see, there he died. Well, all he did really was he stirred up the hive, you know, so I got more aggro than I had before. And that's why I'm not using the golem. I have to do the sword swinging myself in order to play more efficient and, most importantly, more safe. The golem does do physical damage, meaning it can actually kill these guys, but they will just, you know, they'll just move around, so he's following them like some mindless warrior type, and then he's just gonna get more and more aggro. Alright, nice and easy here, and level 15, just like the level 16, is always the same sort of build-up you have. Okay, we're leaving. So I'd like to do the melee guys first. The drakes are really annoying. They are top tier, by the way, of these kind of drakes. And they are the biggest threat because they interrupt my casts. And we have a few of them here. Just going a little further south, maybe I can sort of split all the aggro that I got. But these Soulburners, they aren't stupid, they are top tier, those kind of witches here, and they're very good at sort of pathfinding. Where some of the lower tier mobs, they're kind of retarded, they're easy to jump, say, behind a wall or some kind of obstacle. The Soulburners here can drop extremely quickly. They rarely drop anything interesting though. I mean, blue, say a ring or full plate or bastard sword, stuff like that. But I'm pretty happy it's like 3 different kind of mobs here, because I mean, I got the snow tier, low tier, not low tier, mid tier. Then I got the drakes, these guys, they are high tier. And then I got the soul burners, high tier. Normally you have two to three different kind of mobs, and if it were only 2 mobs, by the way, I'm gonna take the murky pool. What it does, you can see here, that gives you sort of, yeah, a heat side on the map, so I can see where the mobs are until I sort of leave the map. But about the 2 to 3 different kind of mobs on the map, if there are only 2 mobs, say, and I had soul burners, there's a lot of soul burners stuff. With 3 different kind of mobs, it's a little bit easier. But you can say it's definitely felt that the difficulty level has turned up a little bit here. From, say, level 13 to 14. So I'm just gonna dump the drakes here from distance. There we go. But like I said, level 15 and 16 is a build-up of these sort of 4 quadrants, and I'm clearing the first here really. And then in the top, level 15 here on the top left quadrant, this is the first quadrant you can see on the map. On the top left quadrant, yeah, then we will have Lazarus and these minions. It's 3 sort of special mobs that, if you know how to handle them, they're not that bad, but they will give you 3 chances of pretty good loot. Again here, by the way, handling the biggest threats first, as they interrupt my spell casting. Instead of taking this soul burner that I had already stone cursed once, I knew this sort of wear out in a couple of seconds, so just stone cursed another and kill her instead. Just trying to sort of showcase how I play the Sorcerer and how I'm thinking. And you know, while you're sort of killing this mob, I have like 10 seconds to figure out how I will advance next. Now the first quadrant is sort of done, and I think I'm gonna do Lazarus and his bodies now, because it'll fit with what I have my remaining mana before I go to town. Quite a pack we got here of soul burners, by the way. So I'm just gonna aggro those first. Oh, it was actually snow witches, makes it a lot easier, as they don't like fireballs much. Yeah. And up here you can see one, if you haven't seen any of the videos before, because this is, like I said, this is the 74th run. So it's not like it's the first time I'm doing this, but you can see the light radius from special mobs just as I have light radius around my character, and you can see we got 1, 2, 3 special mobs always standing in the same spot initially. So second quadrant, we are trying to clear it, and I prefer to clear around it before I pull sort of the special mobs inside. By the way, about the magic mule, this is why the magic mule will be interesting, especially for warrior, because if he can max out his stone curse spell, he will get down to a mana cost of 40, which is the lowest, and it means a lot to a warrior if he can stone curse 1, 2, 3 or 4 mobs with the same mana pool. Things will become significantly easier if he can stone curse 1 or 2 more mobs, and that he will be able to do that eventually if you don't touch any shrines or and yeah, sort of maximize your spell levels as much as possible. Further, the duration of the spell, how long the mobs are stone cursed, will extend the highest level your spell levels are. Just gonna fall back a bit here. Great. The reason why I picked up this hammer from the decapitated corpse that was lying around is, like I said, I have this theory that loot achieved from a certain map, from chests or corpses or barrels or whatever, has the same quality as from what can be dropped from any mob. So it's just interesting to see what kind of stat the hammer would be. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a really good hammer or anything, but I think it has the chance to be that. I mean, I'm not that interested in basic item really. It has the best possible item would be not a broadsword that I actually have, which has 4 to 12 basic damage, but a bastard sword, which will have 6 to 15, which is the top notch of basic damage. This isn't bad though, 5 to 9, but it's not exactly top tier. Anyway, I think we got far enough for us to stir up the hive. So what I do normally is just I teleport and walk inside. This way I can get all the witches out first. Then afterwards the others. And drop the saber and a chainmail. And no, I'm not touching the cauldron. So what I do after is I shift to... Well, I already have my sword equipped, so I'm just gonna go in. Stone curse last one first. Final of the 3 rare guys in here.
Your madness ends here. Betrayer.
These 4 compadres after. Boys and fellas. These are the exact same guys that are always on level 16, the next and final level, along with some melee guys called the Blood Knights, which are both of them top tier. Advocates are sort of top tier, these sort of wizard-like types, and Blood Knights are likewise as a melee. So pretty crappy loot because small axe, low damage, low armor, and a saber, low damage as well. We're talking basic stats, so it could never be perfect items, even if it has perfect stats. But yeah, I'll get it identified anyway, just for out of curiosity, and it will bring me a little cash for new mana supplies and repairs. Alright, so we cleared about half, 2 of the quadrants. And just because, by the way, the 3 mobs inside of there, yeah, they can drop some really good loot, but so can these mobs as well. I mean, both the soul burners and the drakes are top tier, and they can drop just as good loot as the bosses sort of inside. Both of them just seem to have a sort of a lower drop rate for magic items, whereas a boss will always drop some kind of item, including a book. They can drop books as well. Not that interesting for me, you could say, when my books are already maxed out, but hey, I didn't create the loot table. I just gamed here. About the soul burners here, if I have 3, 4, 5, something like that, seems adequate. They will have a hard time bursting me down, so I can sort of kill them pretty chill. If I get 6, 7, 8, 9, I usually try to sort of escape and make the pile a little smaller, a little less stressful to fight, you could say. And if I have ranged and melees, I'll always go for the melee mobs first. Like here, for instance, I'll take the Drake first. I know that by instinct, sort of. Because if I'm sort of hacking and slashing here on a ranged mob, it would be extremely annoying to get constantly interrupted by that single melee mob, so it has to die first in order for this to be an effective scenario. So, area is cleared behind me, an extra area to sort of be able to fall back to. And there were like 4, 5, 6 of these, the soul burners, so I don't need any more right now. As you can see, they are fairly clever. I can almost stop sort of Diablo by doing this teleport behind a wall, and he would sort of be retarded behind the wall. Not close to it like I did here. Sometimes he will actually be able to find a way. But then these soul burners are... they're better at pathfinding, like that. One of them did miss out here. And I can go down to level 16 and down to Diablo. If I wanted to, that option becomes available after you kill Lazarus, one of the rare guys that I just killed before. So, final quadrant here. Yeah, they're actually quite painful, these guys. Oh yeah, and then we got Bloodlust here. She's always on the map as well, so she's kind of the 4th mob here on level 15 that's always there. I can drop really good loot as well. I think one of my rings or my necklaces, my necklace I got from her. It's a bit of a tricky place because this room in here to my right is probably full of mobs. Then I got a room below, and I don't want to pull both the pack in here and the pack down there at the same time. So it's probably more safe to go around here than just pull what's in the room, which is probably Drake's. The reason why I thought it was Drake's because there was a lot of Drake aggro here. When I got around the corner the first time here. Hello. Let's say I teleported in by mistake in that room, that would be certain death or certain... if I teleported in here and had aggro from 5-6 Drakes, no way I'm gonna get out of it. I'll just be constantly hit, meaning interrupted, so I can't really do anything. Except just watch my mana go down and then die. Unless I use escape and new game, which I have allowed myself. But sometimes you'll die so quick that you won't even make it to escape a new game. There's also this thing called panic. That usually sets in when you make a grave mistake. That is. Okay, so we got Drakes on top. I have to, get out of here. Kill the melee first. And then back to slashing. Oh, missed out on this guy. Yeah, mana was getting a little bit expended here. Just gonna go up here. Yeah, pretty low on mana now. Could take a few mobs with me. I think I will. Little risk to play, but I think I would manage to get away if I screwed it up. Just trying to
I have no room.
Max out my remaining mana. So yeah, the bow I'm not that interested in it. I'd rather check out the shield, and as the shield isn't indestructible, and I would be able to see if it was here. Then it could be interesting what kind of stats it has. It's probably like something of the tiger, it's usually, but yeah. I'm more interested in the shield than in the bow, so that's why I'm bringing it.
Hello, my friend.
Okay.
Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, of the tiger, surprise, surprise. So, that's pretty much it. Nothing.
Well, what can I do for you?
Taking care not to sell my dream flinch, that would really suck. And I'm gonna buy a new.
What ails you, my friend?
Might as well buy 2 now that I'm here. It's just for like, I've always played like this, so I had like a panic potion in the end here that would give me full life, full hit points and full mana points. I could see a situation where I lose my mana shield and all of a sudden my hit points will go down very rapidly. 150 hit points is not a lot on hell difficulty. It'll vaporize like...
I sense a soul in search of answers.
There we go. And there was some splint mail here, it could be interesting, but I'm not gonna rearrange my mana to be able to pick it up. So what could be most interesting here would be, say, a ring or a bastard sword or a full plate, something like that. When you have these top tier mobs. We need a basic item that's perfect, and a ring and an amulet is sort of perfect. There are no like... It's not like leather armor and full plate mail. A full plate, not a full plate mail. But let's say leather armor and mail, they're lower class basic armor, and that's why they are not quite as interesting. As say a full plate, because the stat that I may be looking for is like a 100 that adds say 150% armor value, and it means the world if you have a basic stat of say 75 armor or a basic stat of say 20 armor, 150% of 20 and 150% of 75, it means the world. That's why leather armors and say mails are not interesting to me really, but I could pick them up just for the fun of it to see what the stat was like. Anyway, I'm just gonna rearrange my hotkeys. Now all I need now is really fireball and stone curse and teleport. I don't need chain lightning anymore because all the mobs down here by Diablo are immune to lightning. So yeah, 4 quadrants again and sort of a middle hall here. Blood Knights, top tier melee in the game. And the Advocates top tier casters, being both of them can drop top tier. I think I heard another, yeah. For Sorcerer here, as you can see, Blood Knights are mostly dealt with because they have some resist to my fire spells, but they will go down for it with 2, 3, 4 fireballs. Probably more like 2 or 3 fireballs. Because my fireball spell keep increasing in damage, as I showed you initially. Whereas, say, a warrior or a rogue may have more ease killing the casters. They are more squishy, but the warrior got the physical damage to deal with them, and let's say a bow rogue would be able to sort of kill them from afar as well, where especially the rogue would probably struggle a bit with bow knights, because if he was a bow rogue, because they have a lot of hit points and they're rather sort of armor tanky versus physical damage, and that's naturally how sort of Blizzard sort of developed the game, so that it was a bit of struggle for all classes here in the end. Hello. So, out of the 4 quadrants, top left here is usually hardest, I think, because it's very cool. Just gonna check out if there was any mobs here, so I can always fall back to there. And I'm trying to sort of get rid of some of these enemies here now without stirring up any more of them, meaning that those that are behind me in the area that are already explored prime targets, because killing these will guarantee not give me more aggro. One of them was nice enough to place himself in the perfect sweet spot for me, and behind me. And again, Golem will suck here because it just wanders around, aggroing more mobs. Trying to dodge the fireballs and kill as many of the melee guys at the same time. Could hear there were more of those melee guys. There we go. Ouch. And it's time to advance these guys. Sometimes if you happen to stone curse the target just as it sort of dematerializes, because it's sort of teleporting, it's using a teleport light spell, then I'll have to wait for full duration, and then eventually the mob will reappear. Just gonna see if I can lure some more melee mobs. I think there's one special mob here on level 16, always Sorcerer here. He's not that harder than the others, but he hits like a truck. And it's like he can do some kind of double attack, so he will do double damage sometimes. He can really burst. I did die to him once on the Sorcerer, I remember that. I was being a little too cheeky. So the lever that I just pulled opens the door, always opens the door here in the other top But normally I just sort of clear around the last quadrants before I do the center of them. Meaning I'm not going to clear this area now. I do the sort of the lower parts here, the exterior of them. It's just the safest. I think I don't want mobs on. Both from the interior and exterior at the same time, then all of a sudden it's dangerous. And these items basically aren't interesting, the items that I've dropped so far, but there's nothing else to pick up really, so... Okay, I'm just gonna check out here if there's any melee mobs. Not really. Nasty pack though. I think I'm gonna try my luck over here first. Hello? Gonna drop the bow. I know the shield here just looks really cool, so first you need in this game this sort of run. And yeah, as it's a buckler, it can actually drop them. I think
Where would I put this?
I've sometimes had this drop on a normal difficulty, say on level 4 or something like that. It would be possible as well. It's nothing special. I think it actually looks like these guys are actually wearing. I'll try to each one to show you. Just talking about the design of the shield and the stats of it. Hello? So, when I have a massive pack like this, there's no reason to sort of, as long as I have mana to tank. Just moving forward, first case, more aggro around the corner here. So I'm just staying. If I'm in trouble running out of mana in my belt, I will teleport on the other side of the wall here, and I could in all peace and quiet to just replenish my belt. Oh, melees. And now I've used too much time in order to kill the melee, so I won't be able to kill this guy before he sort of comes back to himself from his Stonker's experience. So there's no reason to try and hack at him and say I'm not going to be able to kill him anyway before he's gone. And that's why I just teleport some other guy and do him instead. That was the exterior of level, well, on the lower quadrant here. And then I had a huge pack down here of advocates. Okay, too much of my mana here is evaporating, yeah. very quickly. So what I can do is try and at least dump some of the aggro. When I go in here, I'm not getting aggro from below, but I have to watch my mana. Really careful here for this break. All the damage that I'm taking. Interesting. It's hard to say how to do it if you weren't a sorcerer, because I can tank it with my big mana pool here. I had to sort of be on my toes because I could easily die if I'm hesitating a bit or getting distracted, so I don't replenish my mana. Then I'll die really quickly, but it will be really hard for. Well, a bow rogue may sort of kill some of them from a distance, but they would move, so it's hard to get a kill. You could wound some of them, but you couldn't sort of get the kill. But now that I killed 4 or 5, something like that, it's less damage taken. And again, when I have this sweet spot where there's a target-rich environment and I don't have to move a lot, I might as well just stay here. At least not move too much. And when I've killed this guy, I don't have any aggro. I'm gonna definitely finish my belt with what I have remaining below. But I'd say as a mediocre warrior or something like that, with not a lot of mana, then I'd say go in, kill one, get out, at least there will be fewer and fewer. You could also sort of just run in, run out without doing anything, and hope that these guys will sort of start dispersing by themselves. They have a tendency to do so over time. Just to see how much damage I'm actually taking from these flash spells. Something close counter spell. Alright, so far so good. And by the way, people that haven't seen it before, the 4th quadrant down here, lower right, is where Diablo is located, always inside. So we cleared the 1st quadrant, open the lever over here, it opens the door on the top right quadrant. That's where I'm going now. I think I have just about enough mana to fully clear this quadrant as well. And back to get this guy killed first. Always that's Sorcerer. always opens the doors down here. Actually, it opens 4 doors in this quadrant. I'm low on mana though. I'm not gonna push my luck here. So let's repair, identify. Let's check out the shield as well.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Split skull. Oh, Lord's Mace of Gore. Lords is sort of one of the prefixes below, say, champions or kings. Just show that stuff like this can be found as well.
Well, what can I do for you?
Let's sell, the mace, and I'm just gonna see the stats on the shield. It's nothing special really. Armor class 10, I think it's good. It's really good for a buckler. I think normally a buckler is like up to 4 armor. Hit point plus 10 is nice, plus 2 strength, minus 10 light radius. Yeah. Also durability, not a lot of durability on it. So yeah.
Well,
it's
what
good
can I
shield
do
for
for
a
you?
new warrior, but not for long really. So it only gives 500 bucks as well when you sell it. So no big deal. Gotta repair my stuff. That's it really. Let's go sell the staff. Knights as well. Just as I sold this, what was it, Lords? It looks like Knights is a bit higher than Lord. At least in Diablo 1 terminology. So I had Lords, Knights, and then I had Champions that I bought and Kings here. All sort of the same prefix, but higher and higher.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Let's see. Just gonna drop some of the
I
gold
sense
down.
a soul in search of answers.
And we're good to go again. The final 2 quadrants should take about, I don't know, 10 minutes, I guess, to do a full clear. As I always do on my runs. So what I do here normally is I teleport in at sort of a certain point, stand around for a second or 2, not too long as you can see, and then I get all the melee outside. Wasn't supposed to get hit there. You can see how fast it sort of turns sour when a melee sort of stops you in your tracks. And I do the same here. And I sort of count as 3 to 4 melee coming out. You could also just, peek like this. Teleport a little bit faster, so we got at least 3 more melees coming here. Field plate, yeah, could be interesting. Not perfect item. And then we got at least 2 more melees here. And then it's, hack and slash for the rest of it in here. I may have missed out on 1 or 2 more melees, but it's okay. Something I can handle. So, gonna open the first lever. I need to open 2 in order to be able to open the door to Diablo. The phasing here is the spell that these guys actually use when they use like a teleport, but it's actually phasing. It needs a random short range teleport spell. Just picking up the armor for the fun of it to see what it was actually all about. I saw 1 or 2. Maybe I was wrong. Alright, so I'm gonna open the other lever, there we go. And it's open into Diablo. So what I usually do is stand right in front here. Gates. I actually hit him there, I can hear that. There we go, at least I hit him there, he didn't like that too much. So I bring him along. He's semi-retarded, so what I usually do, I want to kill his mobs, not him. He doesn't drop any loot. And yeah. Nor any experience, it's not worth killing him actually. And then when he's dumped behind the wall, that's enough to sort of... Very rarely he will come back and re-enter the fight. Because he's... Oh. Because he miraculously found some way out of his... Oh. Of his prison. In the 3rd quadrant, you could say. So... I'm gonna do the rest of the melee mobs here, like looking like a weak prey, so they'll come out. But the reason it's simple is just too dangerous to take range damage as well as melee damage at the same time. If there is an opportunity for a single melee, not melee but range target, I'll take it of course, like here. But other than that, start getting rid of the melee guys. Come on. And then we got again a single opportunity here. Just wanna see if I did get all the melee. Looks like it. Replenish belt, and then yeah, I can try and face tank some of them here. Single target here though. Yeah, getting this amount of fireball, you can sort of displace now and then. Not constantly getting all of them in the face. Oh. And of course, each time I kill one, it's less damage taken the next time. Next time I keep Mule inside, I mean. Got one of them. Let's see how many are left. 8, 9, something like that. I'm comfortable with this damage taken. Considering how many mana pots I got in my build at the same time. Doesn't mean I don't replenish when I have the option. There we go. So, let's go hunt the last few that are left over here. We can follow the foot here. I think this is the last guy. Maybe one left down south here. One of them dropped an axe. It was a crappy axe, but I'm just gonna pick it up anyway. There we go. I'm just gonna ID the 3 items that dropped. And then that's about it. And that was the 74th run, and I'm now at 739.6 million experience, heading for level 48.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Crap and crap. So, no loot.
Well, what can I do for you?
That's fine. Just gonna repair my stuff. And I'm gonna remember to pick up what I had on the ground. So, as usual, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, I hope. Take care, bye-bye.